Hey, this is Allissa Haines from Blueprint for Success, the column in your ABMP's Massage and Bodywork magazine. And we're going to jump right in and talk about scheduling and what your schedule is like in your massage practice. We talked about this a little bit in our November-December 2018 column when we asked, is your business serving you or are you serving your business? We mentioned a little bit about your schedule, and the topic deserves a much deeper dive because it's one of the more difficult structure and boundary issues to get right in your massage practice. And this kind of all came about because I was talking to a colleague who is rebuilding his massage practice after years of teaching and traveling. And he cited the kind of old school, you take what you can get mentality in regards to scheduling your clients, which is that you work any day, every day, any hour to increase your availability to capture every client that comes to you. And this is common. It's common with most of us during startup. And if we need to kind of reinvigorate our practice, we're hungry for clients, we're hungry for cash, and we want to grab every possible client opportunity that we can. It makes sense when you're trying to put as much cash in the bank as possible, as quickly as possible, but there are pitfalls. First, it's exhausting. Even if you cap your days and your weeks at a certain number of clients or hours of massage, you end up being on or potentially available all the time. You can end up with a really inefficient schedule that never really gives you a full day on or a full day off. So you might go into the office for 2 clients and feel like you worked a full day, but really you only have 2 clients worth of money. So you end up burning out much quicker than you should. And also, after time, if you build a practice by taking every client at every time you possibly can, when you need to make some changes, it's really, really hard. I'm going to give it my own example. So I worked Mondays, full days on Mondays for a long time. And then I needed to change my schedule to make time for some other things and only come in Monday afternoons. But it took me over a year to drop Mondays because you have a choice. You could say, all the clients who are used to seeing you on Mondays, okay, we have to schedule you at some other time. What if they can't? What if they can only do another morning, but your other mornings are already full of regular clients? You have to kind of wait it out, see what clients can move to other times, or cut off the client. Stop seeing that client, essentially fire that client because your schedules no longer work. That's valid, that's legitimate, but it's really hard to do. It's kind of hard on your psyche to end a therapeutic relationship with a client simply based on scheduling. And it can mean a loss of money for you, which can be difficult. So waiting until a client's schedule changes and they can move to another time, or clients move away, or someone just falls out of treatment, it can make it a really long process to change your client without firing any regulars. Combine that with burnout, and it makes for a really tough business. At the same time, many of us are in business ownership because we like the flexibility. We like being able to see patients whenever we want and whenever they want. So the idea of reining in your hours can feel really constricting and suffocating. So that might not be for everyone. But if you are feeling like you're spread thin, if you feel at night like you're nervous, you're going to forget to check your schedule and see what time you have to be in the next morning, or if you're feeling burnt out or that you haven't had enough time to care for yourself, it could be that your schedule needs a tweak. And keep in mind that it's not about limits. It's about finding your own rhythm. Too much flexibility can be tough. Not enough flexibility can be tough. So you've got to find the balance that works for you. So how do we rethink this? It could be easy if you have other jobs or you have family and childcare constraints. This isn't rocket science. You have to create your own business schedule so that it works around other jobs and family and childcare constraints. But as you're thinking it through, if you have more flexibility, if those aren't issues for you, consider beginning with the end in mind. So you want to build a schedule that serves your current needs, but can also be adjusted in the future a little bit. So you need to have a rough idea of what those future needs look like. So take a moment to think, what does a full client load look like to you? Is that 4 days with 5 clients each day? Is it 6 days with 3 clients each day? How many clients do you want to see in a week or a month? And what other things do you want to be able to do? So if you're single and you've been throwing yourself into your work to build your business and maybe distract you from some heartbreak, but you know that it's time to start dating, you might want to think about not working Friday and Saturdays and Sundays. You might want times to date people who don't have such a flexible schedule, some Monday through Friday 9 to 5ers. Or you might just only date people who also have those same days as you off. But if you're working 6, 7 days a week, that's going to be tough. If you are planning to expand your family and you know that you're going to need to work opposite your partner's schedule, think ahead on that a little bit. If your partner's in a pretty secure job and you know what their schedule is going to be like, maybe 2 to 3 years out, can you adjust yours so you're building the kind of clientele who can come at the hours you want to come? You want your schedule to be organized so that you feel good about heading to work and fulfilled at the end of the day without feeling exhausted or burnt out. And again, the idea of nailing down a schedule can be really scary. And the thought of turning away clients who don't fit into that schedule is anxiety producing. So we need to keep the big picture in mind. What do you really want for your work life and your personal life? And keeping that big picture in mind is going to help you make these little picture day-to-day decisions about when you really do want to work. So I hope that's helped you figure out how to work through your own scheduling. If you're not satisfied with how your days and your weeks are going, it might be time to rethink that. And I hope those tips helped.